All right, people. Imagine through a sheer accident of biology, you are born in a third world country, in a shitty country. You grow up in it, you love it for some reason, but you don't know why. Maybe because of familiarity, because of peer pressure, or maybe because that's how humans are supposed to behave. But still, deep down inside, you know that something is seriously wrong with this place where I'm born, and I want to get out of here. No matter what happens, I want to get out of here and I want to go to a country where things work, where everything is better than my home country. So you do everything you can. You go to your future country's embassy or high consulate, whatever it is, and you beg them. You say, please let me in. Give me one chance. I would do everything you want me to do. And then you get there and then you start a good life. But you stay loyal to your home country, even though you don't think that it's worth living there. What a pathetic, sad, confused way of living. Have a look at this. So I'm actually talking about these Moroccans who live in the Netherlands. And recently, if you're following the FIFA World Cup, I don't follow soccer. Morocco just defeated the Netherlands, and Moroccans living in the Netherlands were celebrating the defeat of their adopted country, the country that gave them everything, at the hands of their home country. The home country, which was so shitty that they didn't even want to live there. I don't understand this mindset. Have a look at this. So these Moroccans, they just came out in Netherlands. Not because they were not allowed to celebrate, even though I think that should be banned, which is why I'm saying to a lot of my Indian followers as well, because every time the Indian cricket team comes to Australia or goes to England, our stadiums, you find more Indian supporters than Aussie supporters. And most of those Indians who are supporting the Indian cricket team actually live in Australia. I'm like, I don't know who invented these rules, that maybe it's okay, this is multiculturalism. I think times are changing. I think it's perfectly normal for host countries to demand undivided loyalty. Look at these people. Look at that. I think it's perfectly normal for host countries to demand undivided loyalty. And look, it's going to happen. Times are going to change. Have a look at this. Look at this. This Moroccan migrant, look, he started throwing punches at the police officer. And obviously, oh, look at that. Look at that. They still couldn't even tackle him. Look at him. He's just going absolutely crazy. Anyway, that's good. He got taught a lesson. Well done, police. I say bring back police brutality. We need that. Look at this. You got to remember, all these people were let in and they were given a good life in the Netherlands. All these people. And they're rioting. They should be just deported for supporting a foreign country against their own, against the country they're living in. They should be just deported for that. But, you know, obviously, it's the liberals of the West. It's the lefties of the West that said, no, it's perfectly normal. If you're a Pakistani living in Australia, making a living in Australia, sending money back home to Pakistan, it's perfect. And when your Pakistani cricket team comes to Australia, it's perfectly normal for you to celebrate or support the Pakistani cricket team. Look, I'm not going to lie. I also did that until 2021, I think, because I understand it's very difficult to let go of the team that you supported when you were a kid. Look at him. So I used to support the Pakistani cricket team because, you know, when I was growing up, I saw Imran Khan, Wasim Akram, Shoaib Akhtar, Shahid Afridi, and then after that, I was like, I remember in 2021, I was stuck in Greece. There was a 2021 T20 World Cup going on at that time, and I saw the awful behavior of Pakistani. By the way, I hated the culture. I hated the whole thing. I knew I was just holding on to something that I was just indoctrinated with when I was a kid. So look at this. Look at this. They're just rioting. Absolutely pathetic. So I hated the whole culture of Pakistani cricket fans. And then I realized even the cricketers themselves, I have nothing in common with these people. I remember in 2021, both the English and the Australian cricket teams refused to go to Pakistan to play cricket on security grounds. So I saw how Pakistani cricket fans were teasing the English and Aussie cricket players and teasing them like stupid idiots. Like they were teasing them, hey, security, security. I was like, what the hell? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to go to your shithole of a country and risk their security? Your country is a shithole. They're well within their rights not to want to play in your country. So I think I took more offense to it than the Aussies or the Brits. So I thought at that day I decided there's no way. I share nothing in common with these people. So I don't support even the Pakistani cricket team. That was the last link that I had. I wish them well, but I don't really care anything about them. But that also liberated me, and it made sure that I give my undivided loyalty to the country that I live in. And, look, it takes time to get to that stage, but it's not going to happen if people are not put under any pressure to do that. Look at this. These guys are just running amok in the streets of The Hague. This is The Hague, guys. They want to try Putin for war crimes in this city. They can't even control these gangs, these unarmed, uncouth gangs from a third world country. And they want to try Putin for war crimes. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, look at this. What a disaster. What a disaster. How's multiculturalism working out for you? Clearly, multiculturalism has failed. Clearly. Look at that. None of this would be happening if the Netherlands was a normal country. If it was a monocultural society, if it had a homogenous society, then none of this would be happening. Look at that. Look at that. How disgusting. The honking horns, like third worlders living in a first world country. And it was done by the suicidal empathy of the lefties. I don't even want to believe that. Look at this. They even brought horses to control the crowd. And they're chanting, go home. Have a nice trip home. Morocco forever. Oh, boy. This is a perfect breeding ground for the next Hitler. That's how tyrants emerge. That's how strong men emerge. A nation governed by laws in a society where people don't fear the law, democracies can't work. Law-abiding societies cannot function. It just cannot happen. Anyway, so eventually the Dutch police gave up. It just wasn't possible to control that crowd anymore. Look at them. They ran off. They were overwhelmed. Look at the pelting stones at them. Look at that. They ran off. Ran off. So I say suspend the constitution, release the army, but I don't think that the Netherlands even have an army. Look at them. And they even had support from local white liberal traitor women. Look at this.
Kom, we gaan ook. Gaan we doen? Ja, kom, we gaan.
They are celebrating. They're celebrating along with the Moroccans the defeat of their own country.
What's up,
It's these women who become victims of sexual violence at the hands of these men. Look at that. Look at this traitor. This reminds me of that phenomenon. It was called lay tondur, which means or lay tondu, which means the shorn women or the shaved women. After the defeat of the Nazis in World War II, women who collaborated with the Nazis, their heads were shaved. Approximately 20,000 women, their heads were shaved like this. Look at that. This is probably the clearest picture. I remember watching that documentary a while ago. I've watched probably hundreds of documentaries on World War II. I felt bad at that moment. I was like, maybe these women were just, trying to make a living because the Nazis occupied France for what, 4 or 5 years or something. So of course your life doesn't stop. Maybe, they had no choice, but no, I think that's the ultimate test of your loyalty. I don't know. Look, I don't know. But if those women were anything like these women, then maybe they deserved it. Yeah, they deserved it. This is getting out of hand, guys. Look, something's got to give. Things don't work out. It's not going to stay like this forever. My favorite Dutchman, Geert Wilders, he posted this. F Allah. And look at these Moroccans. And look, all Muslims, whether they are British Muslims, French Muslims, German Muslims, Muslims in America, they're all celebrating Morocco. Why? Because they are because they see the whole thing, they see everything as Islam versus kufr, versus the infidels. That's how they view everything. Let me show you something. Look at these Muslims in America. Sneaker along with his other Muslim buddies. It's a football match. Why are you shrieking Allahu Akbar? Look. And then they're going to celebrate Morocco's win. What do they have? What have they got to do with Morocco? Well, they're only celebrating Morocco because Morocco is a Muslim country, and a Muslim country has just defeated an infidel country. Look at that. And look at this traitor. Look at this traitor. He's a Haitian immigrant. What an idiot. Look at him. He wasn't even born in this culture of shrieking and screaming Allahu Akbar. Look who else is celebrating. Mehdi Hassan, the Moroccan team thanking Allah after knocking out the Netherlands. Guys, they're all the same. They've all united. They are all united against the infidel West. Whether you're Dutch or a German or an Austrian or a Brit or an Australian, they hate you equally because in their eyes, it's Islam versus the kufr, the infidels. That's it. And Islam divides the world into spheres. Darul Islam and Darul Harb. The House of Islam, the Muslim countries. And then the rest of the world is Darul Harb, meaning the house of war. Not the non-Muslim world. It's the house of war, meaning we are at war with them until they submit to Islam. Muhammad has said numerous times that the whole world belongs to him, i.e. Allah and him. And one of his prophecies is that the whole world will submit to Islam and then their judgment day will come. That's the reason why you see all these people. Actually, let me show you this video. It's very... While the stealth Islamists like Mehdi Hassan and Bushra Sheikh, and there's so many of them, they keep trying to fool the Westerners by saying, hey, Islam is a religion of peace. We're not here to take over, blah, blah, blah. Other Muslims, we are lucky that we are also living in a time when there are honest Muslims, aggressive, but honest at least, who have made videos like these for us. Listen to this guy.
So we lie and we cheat and we claim things that are not part of Islam. And guess what? Not all of them are dumb.
Meaning us. Not all of us are dumb. Actually, I was born in Islam, so I actually know. But I mean, other non-Muslims, they're not dumb. They know. When these Muslims tell you that, Darul Islam, Darul Harb, don't talk about this. We're not here to take over. We're not interested in establishing the Sharia. He's saying, no, they're not all dumb. You don't have to lie to them. Listen to him.
So we lie and we cheat and we claim things that are not part of Islam. And guess what? Not all of them are dumb. They can tell when we lie.
Yeah.
They can tell when someone sits behind it that says, Islam is peace. Islam is about peace. Why are you afraid to tell the people the truth?
Whoa.
Don't you think this kafir is going to open the Quran, read Surah Al-Anfal, and he's going to come across these ayat, the military ayat, which you've been trying to hide? Then what are you going to do?
They're just going to lie. They're just going to lie shamelessly. I have more respect for people like Daniel Hakikachu and this scholar than for people like Mehdi Hassan, which is what, and Mamdani. That's why I hate those people. They are more dangerous. And look who they're latching on to. How are they gaining more influence? How are they strengthening themselves in the West? By fooling the West. Well, there will come a time when it will become unfeasible or untenable for the lefties to stay in bed with these Islamists. I just don't know how that's going to pan out or exactly when that's going to pan out. We have seen some hints of that. For example, some Gays for Gaza people, for example, finding out when they voted in a Muslim in the name of compassion for the foreigners or the migrants in the city of Hamtramck in the US. And the first thing the Muslim mayor did, he took down the LGBTQ flags. And they're like, huh? Why? But we supported you. So obviously we have isolated examples like that, but we haven't seen a mass movement like that. But you got to understand, the Muslims, on the other hand, they're also getting cleverer. So that Hamtramck mayor was probably a dumb strategist because he just said, screw this, we don't care, take down the LGBTQ flags. On the other hand, when you look at Islamists like Mamdani and Mehdi Hassan, they openly support the LGBTQ people. And Mamdani's like, hey, he's waving the pride flag. So if you look at Sadiq Khan, he does the same. We know how they feel about the LGBTQ people. Once their goals are achieved, I've always said it, they're going to hold a meeting at the rooftop, the tallest building in the city, and they're going to summon all LGBTQ people, and off they go. That's what's going to happen. But I don't know. But when is that going to happen? No, I don't know. But it'll be a funny sight to behold. I'm not going to lie. I might be there on the rooftop as well because I'll be flying too. But I will beg them. I will beg my Muslim conquerors that, can you throw them off first? So before me. Can you do that before me? I just want to see the look on their faces. Jokes aside, I don't think it's going to happen. The men of the West will rise up before that.